Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Kyle here. You Know I Got Soul podcast back in here. We've got Tom. Ed, I think, is out there listening to Common's Universal Mind Control album. I think he did a top...
What?
Come on. Great Neptunes beat.
Ed is at the bar doing a few frosty beverages for his birthday. I think he turned 65, so happy birthday, Ed.
All right, moment of silence. We're going to play some Earth, Wind, and Fire for Ed after this podcast.
Earth, Wind. Wow.
Hey, they're actually on tour right now, I believe. They're doing arena tours, so shout-outs to Earth, Wind, and Fire. But that's for another time, Tom. We have a lot of R&B to talk about right now.
So let me tell you something. I interviewed Joe today, one of the most popular artists on You Know I Got Soul.
Yep.
We've interviewed him a whole bunch of times. Great guy, very humble. He said this might be his last album. And you know why?
Wow.
The reason why is because no one's supporting R&B. He said, what's the point of, basically, the interview will be out soon, but he basically said, what's the point of releasing an album if no one's going to buy it? That's sad. What do you think about that?
He makes a good point. He makes a good point. Man, it's hard right now. Like we've been talking about Usher for the last couple of months, and he only sold 20-something thousand, and he's one of the premier artists. But you know, you have a lot of great R&B projects that have come out recently that I think we're going to talk about later on, like the Eric Benet project, which we all really like. After Sevyn came back after many, many years of not being on the surface of this earth, they came back, and I think they've only sold like 3,000 to 4,000 first week. So Joe, who's been one of the more consistent artists who's constantly putting out music, it does get discouraging. And to be honest, I can't really blame him, but at the same time, are we just strictly looking at album sales now as a way of measuring success? Because, I don't know, maybe it is that now.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
There's like 4 billion humans on this earth, and only 5,000 can support Eric Benet in his first week.
Yeah.
Where are all the people who supported his previous albums? Are they just not willing to purchase it anymore? They just want to stream it? Like, I just don't. I'm a numbers guy. The numbers aren't adding up, Kyle. Tell me, what's the deal here?
Well, I wish Ed were here for this because it's more so his demographic than mine. I know what's going on. I know what's going on with my generation. We've moved on to Spotify. Some of us are still torrenting and doing the whole thing. Ed's generation is the one we got to look at, the ones that used to buy the CDs. I don't think they're hip with the streaming. Well, maybe Ed is, but I don't think his partners are. So we got to find out what's going on with the 30s and 40s and 50s age bracket. How are they consuming music? Is it just radio now? So I don't really know, because I'm thinking that's the demographic that's really gone missing in this whole music equation.
Well, if you think about it, it's crazy to me. Both Joe and Eric Benet have top 5 singles at Urban AC. So the older folks who like that music should know they have an album out or coming out. So what's the missing piece of the puzzle? Is there not enough? I mentioned this to you earlier. Are there not enough stores that even sell the music? Because I don't know if older folks are downloading on iTunes or whatever. Maybe they can't find it in the store. Maybe they have no store.
Well, from my understanding, if people bought CDs, you would find it at the store. It kind of goes hand in hand, I believe.
Yeah, but remember, there's no stores anymore. All you got is Best Buy, and I don't know what else you have. What else is there?
Oh, man, remember when we went to Target and they categorized Rihanna and The Weeknd as R&B?
Oh, man.
I remember that.
They probably don't even have an R&B section anymore, to be honest. The Target probably has no R&B section anymore.
No, you're right, because I went last time and it's just categorized as urban now. You're right.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another time. Times are changing, but Tom, can we talk about Joe for a second? If this is his last album, what is the legacy?
Joe will have gone down as one of the top artists of his generation, obviously. He had some of the biggest hits, realistically. I mean, there'll be a huge loss for R&B if Joe decided to stop making music. I mean, geez. It's hard to say. I mean, he's one of the biggest hit makers in R&B. I mean, he's one of the most popular artists on our site.
Yep.
You should see the reaction we get when we say we're interviewing Joe. So many people responded to us today, having questions for him. Our Joe interviews get the most hits. So if he stopped making music, that would be a problem. I don't even know what to say.
Does that mean we're quitting the site?
Man, R&B needs us, Kyle. R&B needs us. We can't quit the site.
No, I don't know if R&B needs us, man, because let me tell you, Alicia Keys, I think you just found out today that she's putting out her new album next week.
Alicia Keys has a new album. I just found this out today. It's coming out next week.
Yep. So I think R&B needs, I don't know, it's not looking pretty outside.
But honestly, Alicia Keys gave up on R&B herself years ago. Think about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call her an R&B singer anymore. She went for the pop crowd, man.
Yeah, I can see how that's the case, but
wait a minute, hold on. You were the one who told me she was making housewife music. You told me that.
I said that?
Something similar to that statement.
I don't recall ever saying that. But you
No, but you know what I'm saying. The songs are like, they're for the older, women. They're not really the music she came out with when she started. It's not the same.
Yeah, I think that started changing after, definitely there was a huge difference after the first album. But she kind of lost me after the third album.
The Diary of Alicia Keys was still definitely R&B.
Yeah, but compare that to the debut. She lost some of her street edge already. Come on.
Yeah, but that's major labels for you. They guide you.
All right.
I mean, really, to me, the Element of Freedom was the first one she really went away from R&B altogether. And then Girl on Fire was just, I don't even consider these R&B.
It was like Emily Sandé music.
You're calling it Emily Sandé music when Alicia Keys came before her. What does that even mean?
Alicia Keys is a poor man, Emily Sandé.
That's sad. But that's realistically, that's where we're at. Global superstars really have to mimic what's hot at the moment, and Alicia Keys, realistically has tried to do that.
You know what's funny with Alicia Keys though? I don't know if you remember the single she put out earlier this year, "In Common." It had sort of a Drake type of vibe to it. I thought that was really going to catch on, but it kind of went nowhere. And then now when you look at the track list for the album, that's not even on the album. I'm not even sure if it's a bonus track, actually. And she's put out a couple of songs since then, and the direction is completely different. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that project. We'll find out next week.
That's the same thing that happened with Usher from RCA.
Yeah.
They kind of experimented, tried to find out what worked. But for Alicia Keys, shout out to our boy, Kerry Crucial Brothers. He was there for the beginning of Alicia Keys' stardom. He produced her first 2 albums, had a couple songs on the As I Am album, but really she abandoned him after that. And, I always think back to Drake, and he's always stuck with his producer,
40.
What's it? 40, right. Like, he's stuck with him, and through his whole career, and, that's worked for him. That producer, 40, knows him, and it's worked. How come other artists don't do that? They branch out, they leave their origins, and kind of end up lost, I feel like.
I'm thinking of names off the top now. Usher, Jermaine Dupri, Alicia Keys, Crucial. There's a handful of them, right? Like,
yeah, there's more than that. I mean,
and you're right. Like, the ones that stick to it, they seem to do well. Look at Justin Timberlake. He's stuck with Timberland. So I don't really know why they do that. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but who knows? There's a lot that goes behind the scenes as well.
Could I just say something about Justin Timberlake?
Yep.
You got a pop star, and he just went in his own direction, R&B, and dominated. And like each time out, like I don't think people give him enough credit for what he did. Really, when you look back at it, he stayed authentic to who he was and made the music he wanted to make, and it was successful.
Yep.
And how come, like, no one else seems to do that anymore? You know, everyone's trying to mimic what's hot at the moment, but Justin Timberlake went his own route.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Justin Timberlake, no matter what he puts out, he's going to get attention because he's Justin Timberlake. And one could argue...
go ahead.
Well, I mean, one could say that Usher should get that same attention, but he doesn't. So I think Usher has to be a little more creative with how he presents his music to the audience, which is why he has to put out the pop singles and the dance-driven singles and the turn-up music, where Justin Timberlake can just be himself and the audience will fully embrace it. I think another artist that's able to...
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think another artist that's like that is Bruno Mars now. He's just making music that he likes.
Yeah, but the thing is, the music resonates with people. I mean, 24K, you know, you have to, it doesn't fit what's popular or whatever, but it's still a good record. I mean, people like it. People have to like the music. No Limit was a #1 single, but I don't think it resonated with anyone. For Usher, I mean, just like, people wouldn't say it's a timeless record.
Nope. No, they wouldn't.
So, I don't know. Maybe it is unfair. But if Justin Timberlake would have put out No Limit, where would we be at now? Would he have been the same success, celebrating the same success he is now, or would he be looking for answers like Usher is?
Hard to say.
Can you imagine Justin Timberlake putting out No Limit? Imagine that. I'm sorry.
Hey. But anyways,
wait.
Let's talk about.
Can we just say that was probably the worst #1 single ever in the history of music? No Limit. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
What was good about that song?
Catchy.
Who even conceptualized that song? Was Usher a diehard No Limit Records fan? Did he love Master P? I don't understand.
Well, we got to get Usher on an interview soon.
I'm serious. Yeah, I wish we could interview Usher and just ask him how that song was created. I mean, I really don't understand that song at all. It was a #1 single, and I don't think anyone really even liked it, honestly. I mean, was he a diehard No Limit Records fan? Did he love Master P? Where did it even come into play? It's just so random to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
And he doesn't really do interviews, so we can't know the answer to that question. So,
well, luckily for us, it seems like he's given up on promoting the album, which leads me to believe that.
Did you say luckily for us?
Oh, come. Well, actually, can we give? Hold on. Can we give Usher some props really quickly?
Yes. We
just recently discovered that there is a song on his album that's actually really good.
Oh my God! We recently discovered. Do you realize this? Hold on. Can we just admit that we love Usher? Usher is a legend. We love what he's done in his career.
No, absolutely. And
Kyle, you have to say these things or else they think you're a hater.
Usher is a legend. We love him. Okay. His last album was not very good. However, the first song on that album, it's a grower.
You know what the problem, though, with that song is? You got to skip the skit every time. And that's so annoying to me.
What's the skit?
On the conversation with some
girl?
lady. You got to skip it every time. And we discussed this on Twitter, I think. We mentioned this on Twitter. Why would you put a skit on a song? Like, you got to skip it. Like, Genuine did that with Pony on his album version.
We throw the best man party?
Yeah, you got to skip it every time. Like, you don't want to hear the skit.
Wait, hold on. True or false? Would you know who Tisha Campbell is if it wasn't for that Genuine skit?
Oh, my. You never watched Martin, man?
This is before my time.
You're young. You wouldn't know any better. If Ed was here, he would say, "Good Lord."
Play it, please.
So,
you make a good point. But yeah, that Usher song is good. We can admit that.
Yeah. Usher has a potential to still. Why are we talking about Usher again? It's every freaking podcast.
I promise you after this, we're going to move on to something else.
Okay, good.
You were
nothing else to say. Well, Usher has the potential to make great songs. Like, if you listen to the first song, "It Needs You," I think it's called, he has the potential. He just is not willing to go that route anymore. And we understand. We understand why he does it.
Yep.
I'm not confused about it. It's just, it is what it is.
It's the business. But okay, so we're gonna move on from Usher, and I want to talk about an album that I don't think anyone would expect me to talk about, Tom, and that is the After Sevyn album.
Oh my!
Timeless.
Oh my goodness!
Someone crank up the time machine because we're going back in 1992.
Wow.
After Sevyn, Tom, can we talk about the first song off that album?
I knew it when they sent me the advanced copy. I listened to that song. I was like, damn, this is a hit. And they didn't release it as a single. They have two other songs out as singles, but not that one.
Runnin Out is the song of that. It is the song. And can we talk about Babyface for a second? Because last year he wrote that song for Jordan Sparks. And that was...
Wait. Yeah.
They Don't Give. That
was my favorite song of the year.
You're probably still playing it right now.
I am. And if Ed didn't sync that song on our countdown, that would have been number one. So just so you all know, to keep it real.
Just keep it real. But Babyface does it again with this song.
Well, the interesting thing about After Sevyn and their album is that these are all leftovers from Babyface's last album. Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, he left behind gems like this, and it's just crazy. Babyface is such a genius.
Yeah.
So, but you know what, though? I'm glad to see a group coming back and being relatively successful. I mean, what do you consider success these days? They had 2 hit singles. That's enough for me.
No, I think After Sevyn did pretty well for themselves, with all things considered.
I mean, they're back to being relevant. They can tour again,
Yep.
I just saw them in BB King's. They can still perform.
Yep.
I mean, other groups we've seen come back with mixed results. I mean, do we want to name drop?
Groups?
Let's just keep it real. That Jodeci album was underwhelming.
Well, see, I think the difference is, or at least what I really liked about the After Sevyn project and how they put it all together, it was just strictly about the music.
Right.
They focused on the music. They put out some hits that climbed the urban AC charts. Just some quality, timeless, no pun intended, music, and it worked for them. For Jodeci, it was more about the spectacle than the music itself. And it's a lot, and you have a lot of different groups that are trying to come back, but they're just stuck in that situation where it's just like, man, like, are they going to come out? I thought Silk would have done better when they came out because they had a really good single as well.
What's interesting is, I always think about this. Is no one, like in the 90s, if you were a flop of an artist, you would disappear. No one would ever hear about you again. But in 2016, you could remain relevant kind of forever. Like, it is not this. I interviewed High Five recently. They performed at our Soul Village show. They're still making music. You know, it's tough for them. It's tough to make a comeback without resources. You know, they're trying. And like you mentioned, Silk, they're another one. They make good music, but you're always going to hear about these groups. If you follow them on social media, they're going to continue making music. They're not going to retire or anything like that. And it's the environment we're in right now. It's an interesting time. It's almost, I keep saying we're flooded with music right now. It's almost overwhelming. What do you think about that?
I mean, what else is there to say? Not only is it a situation where there's too much music coming out, it's too much of the same music coming out. And I might be sounding ignorant right now, but I don't really understand. Well, I don't know the difference between Ty Dolla $ign, Future, Designer. Give me some names. Give me some names here.
Come on.
No,
you don't know the difference?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, but to take it back to our lane, though, Urban AC, do you know they're required to play oldies on those stations?
Well,
so
yeah,
really,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they can only fit so many new music songs on that chart, on those stations. So really, that's a problem. Like, we love that Silk song, but stations probably didn't have room to play it in their rotation because they were required to play, you know, oldies, and then they have their other rotation. It sucks. And all the songs that are being played, new songs on Urban AC, they typically come from major labels. Like that Mary J song, Think of It, which I really like. Shout-outs to our boy Camper, who produced it. Jasmine Sullivan wrote it. That's in a span of 3 weeks, and I kid you not, Tom, 3 weeks, it's at number 2 now. In 3 weeks. That's crazy.
But
I said, it's a... but see, that's what I don't understand. Did it move that fast because there's no competition? Because no one's willing to pay besides the major label, or because it's that good? Because the almighty dollar still controls radio.
Oh yeah.
So
would you believe that a Tyrese song right now on Urban AC is number 4? I bet you can't even name the title of that song.
That guy's rich though.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but you know what's number 1?
I'm looking at the...
What's number 1?
Ro James.
Our boy, Ro James.
RCA, though. There you go. Another major label. They have money.
It's a tough one.
I don't know, but but Ro James, Permission that's a great song. So,
no, it's a good song.
Not to take anything away. Not to take anything away from that song. That's a great song.
No, I know. It's just but how many how many R&B singers have even left on labels at this point?
Well, it's not looking pretty, Tom.
I can only think of like less than 10, probably.
Yeah. It's not looking pretty. But, Tom, one of the major label R&B artists that's left is Sevyn Streeter, who's gone into some news recently.
I was waiting for you to bring this up. I'm so happy.
Man, we love Sevyn. We love Sevyn, and way to go, Sevyn.
Sevyn Streeter made ESPN. I couldn't believe it. Wait, can you explain to them? Can you explain to everyone what happened, Kyle?
All right, so it was the opening night of the NBA, or maybe not. It was the opening game for the Philadelphia 76ers, and Sevyn Streeter was set to perform the national anthem. 2 minutes before she went on to the court, she was wearing a We Matter jersey with the number 7 on it, 7 representing her. We Matter, obviously representing all the craziness that's happening in the U.S. right now. Right before she got on, the Sixers organization told her that she is not allowed to wear that. So instead, they offered her to wear a 76ers jersey instead. She said no. So they decided to move in another direction. I think they got one of the backup dancers to sing the national anthem, and Sevyn Streeter was left in the dust.
Well, let me ask you a question. If she wasn't signed to a major label, would you have put on that 76ers jersey?
Ooh, that's. I don't know.
We're not going to get.
Why do you say that? Why do not?
Well, because it was great press. Let's be honest, it was great press. I never. Sevyn Streeter being on an ESPN article on the main headlines. I mean, come on. That's great press.
You're right. You're right. She's on U.S. Weekly, Billboard, man, all these different. She's even on NBA. Hold on, Tom. She's even on NBA.com.
And this is not to say Sevyn Streeter doesn't care about social injustices and what's going on in the world, but this is the best
she has an
press
album
she's
coming
gotten.
Out.
I mean, yeah,
she has an album coming.
This is the best press she's gotten.
Yep.
You know, so I'm just saying, like, I almost feel horrible that it has to come to this. For an artist to get this type of attention, they have to have some type of incident. You know, it sucks. Because Sevyn's a great artist. Let's be honest.
Oh, we love Sevyn. We've been there since Sevyn's beginnings. So
yeah, we were.
And we want to see her do well. And, you know, sometimes things like this happen, but we're not going to hold it against her. It's just interesting to see all that's needed now to just put out an album if you're just a traditional R&B singer.
Well, I don't think she did that. I don't think she did it to get promo. Of
course not.
I think that it just turned into a situation, and then she lucked into promo. And whatever. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah. No, I doubt it. Tom, I want to talk about another situation right now, and I wish Ed was here for this, but we're going to have to wait on that. We'll get his reaction next week, but 112 is back.
Yeah, I heard that. Is that for real?
Hey, I saw Mike in the studio. I saw Slim in the studio. Saw Q in the studio. Didn't see Deron. I think he's out with Team Deron Jones right now. But okay. I think shout out to Deron. We love him. He provides a lot of great entertainment on social media.
Now follow on Kyle_YKIGS.
Yep. No, but Deron he's great. He's very interactive with his fans.
Yeah, I
saw him giving up. I saw him giving out tickets to the Bad Boy show as well, so he definitely cares about his fans. But 112 is back. I think it's serious. I think they've realized now, after touring for about 3 years, that there is a demand for 112. I think the Bad Boy tour definitely helped. I think, Tom, we were trying to figure out why they didn't put out music when the tour started. But the tour is over now, and it looks like they're getting back in the studio.
Yeah, I hope so. People would love to hear it. You know, it goes back to what we just talked about, though. People would love to see new music, but are they going to support it, though? You know, realistically, are they going to support it?
Yep.
Man, it's just like a whole different landscape these days.
Yep.
You know, I don't even know.
Well, Tom, it's funny because what I've noticed with every comeback that's happened, and this is no disrespect to the artist, but for example, let's say 112 announces their comeback, people only remember their first 2 albums or first 3 albums and think, oh man, this is going to be amazing. But they forget that they released an album like Hot and Wet. I don't know.
That was a disappointing album.
That was a very disappointing album.
Damn, you just asked me that question about when I was disappointed with an album. I should have mentioned that one.
That was it?
Yeah, that was up there.
It's okay. One of my disappointments was The Senior by Genuine.
Ooh.
That was disappointing.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
The Senior. We love Genuine. We don't want to diss anyone on this podcast. We love these artists. We love R&B. Hold on, but we got to keep it real. If the album is not doing... Like, shout-outs to our boy Kempire and Silent. They just started their, I think their podcast or their radio show. I think it's called Silent and Kemp Uncensored. Something like that, right, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, that is us as well. We're uncensored right now. We're going to keep it real.
So
Tom...
So how would you say you feel about Lockdown, the movie, on the Senior album?
Walk down? Oh, man.
Dude, if Genuine was here right now, he'd probably agree with us that this was not his best work.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Remember,
I don't know about that.
He did have In Those Jeans. He did have Stingy on here. Hell Yeah was actually a big hit.
Love You More is a good song.
So he had hits on there. I mean, it's just so up and down. Mike Tyson's hit, you know. How does he even know much? Dude, oh man, this is epic. When I talked to Joe today for this interview, and he talked about timeless R&B, the first name he mentioned was Genuine for artists who have to keep it going.
Wow.
Like as like a legendary artist, he mentioned Genuine. I
think he's that's an interesting one.
No, he is. No,
you think so?
When you think of R&B, you think of Genuine.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. My bad on that one. he definitely is one. Tom, can we change the mood a little bit and let's talk about some sad songs? Because the other day you had mentioned the Boyz II Men song "Doing Just Fine."
Oh man,
that's a very, 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 very sad song.
Oh.
Can you talk about some other songs that got you through some hard times?
Oh man, I'm going back to 112. I'm going back to 112. Do you know the song "Funny Feelings" by 112?
Shouts to Eric Roberson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe he wrote a song like this. So sad. Your Letter by 112. Oh man. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Those are some sad songs. What else do you have?
What do you got?
Man, let me.
It's time to pull up the iTunes. Hold on.
It is time to pull up the iTunes.
Damn. Eric,
I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with a Boyz II Men song.
I know.
That's a fact.
Fact.
Oh man. There's so many songs that I can think of right now.
Wait, did Aaliyah ever really have a sad song? I'm trying to think.
Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Miss You, I guess, but that was kind of symbolic of her passing, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Remember the Static Major song?
Which?
Illusion.
Oh, that's symbolic as well. That's a symbolic song as well.
It's a sad song.
Yeah. Avant has a couple of sad songs too.
Genuine has some sad songs, but they're more personal to his situation.
Yep.
2 Reasons I Cry, and Avant has some. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I asked Joe about how, making vulnerable songs in his career. Joe's had some songs.
Yeah, Joe definitely has.
Not necessarily like tearjerkers, but more so he messed up and, trying to get his girl back. Joe's had some of those.
Yeah. You know who hasn't had a really tearjerker song? Music Soul Child. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. Merry Go Round is probably the closest one to that.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, you're right.
He hasn't had one.
Music Soul Child. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, he hasn't had a super sad song.
Yeah. Shout out to Music Soul Child, our boy. We'll tell him to work on that for the next album.
Him and Warren Campbell. That's funny. All right, Tom. I don't want to waste everyone's time with us going through this iTunes thing. What else do you have right now?
Well, what's coming out in the coming weeks? We just found out Alicia Keys is coming out. We know Joe's coming out. What else is on tap for the rest of the year? I think TLC is slowly but surely
starting to release music. I mean, they did the whole fundraising campaign, took everyone's money, and kind of just disappeared. And it looks like they're going to put that money to use.
Well,
they put out two new songs today.
2 new songs. Joyride was actually sounded pretty good, and then the other one was okay. Haters, but yeah, we that was the campaign was in early 2015, so we've been waiting for almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
you know they're going to come out with something. They can't just run away with the money, right?
I don't know.
Come on, these are legends, man.
Hold on? Is it considered a crime to start up a fundraising campaign and just take the money?
But,
you never promised. Hold on. They never promised anyone anything. They just said they wanted to work on a new album. I'm just saying.
Come on.
I'm just saying. Come on.
So you're saying that we tried and it didn't quite work out, so we're just that's it.
Yeah, we're not. We can't split the money back to all of you guys, so we'll just take it. Tom, wait, Tom. There's 2 other albums that I want to quickly talk about. The first one being our boy Bobby V, Hollywood Arts. He put out the movie, and then he put out the album, which was like a futuristic R&B, as he explained it. And you know what? I think Bobby V gets it. You can't just put out an album and expect it to sell. So he partnered up with BET, and I forget the director. What was the director's name? I'm sorry, it's escaping right now. We interviewed her with Bobby V. Let me pull it up real quick. While you're right though. He does get it. It takes an extra level of promo to release a project these days. You got to put in the extra work. You can't just rely on dropping it on iTunes. You know. Yep. So Bobby V gets it. Put out the album along with the movie.
Tangi B. Moore. She's mad cool. We interviewed her with Bobby, and the movie came out a couple weeks ago on BET, like you mentioned.
Tom, can you read one of the comments on the YouTube video?
No,
Are you on the YouTube?
I'm scared to do that. Why?
Should I do it then?
No.
Tangi's got some major jugs.
That's not even... But that's the problem, man. See, right there is the problem. You got these people who just sit in their mom's basement and write these comments, man. That's all we have these days.
Man, when I saw that, man, I lost it. But just to Bobby V, come on, you got to. That person is a reader of our website. We got to show him some love.
Would Tangi be laughing at that comment?
I don't know.
Then there you go.
I mean, we laugh at a lot of Michelle Wallace's comments. So.
Shout out to Michelle Wallace. She'll be on an upcoming podcast in the coming weeks.
She brings us great comedy. If you haven't had a chance, read all of our YouTube comments and have a great laugh. But yeah, shout out to Bobby V for putting out the album. Can't really say it's my album. I'm a big Bobby V fan. That was a little different for me. I still got to live with the album a little more. So there's that album, and Tom, there's the other album that's caused a lot of buzz, which is Solange, who finally came back after many, many years. I know Sandcastle Disco is like your favorite song of all time.
Oh man,
her last album, and she came back this time with I guess like a neo soul, laid back, very smooth R&B album.
Do you realize Raphael Sadiq executive produced that album? Like, that's crazy. Like, why would she even think of him to do that? But
with Tweet on the background vocals.
Yeah, on like 4 or 5 different songs. I mean, this is crazy to me. And it did well.
Yep.
And Solange is a great artist. I mean, it's just that this whole element of surprise of releasing albums. I don't know. It's a good album, but like I don't like that. You have to rely on like tricks to sell an album. Like Beyonce, her sister did it. Yeah, go ahead.
You ready to piss off a couple of people?
Go ahead. What?
If Solange was not Beyonce's sister, would this album have gone noticed?
I said that. No, I think she wouldn't even have been an artist in the first place. Realistically, like You know how many artists are out there trying to break in? You know, we have so many that reach out to us on a daily basis trying to get featured on the site.
Yep.
Like, if Solange didn't have connections, she might not even have had the chance. That's just realistic. Not saying she's not talented, but there's a lot of talented artists out there. So I just chalk it up to that. She had the connection. Her father had money. And we get to have Solange's music, which is not bad. It's good. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, and shout out to Solange. She's made the most of what she has. Like Cranes in the Sky, that's a top 10 record of the year for our countdown, or at least I would hope. And the album is solid. So shout outs to Solange for putting together a great project. Lots of love from YouKnowIGotSoul about that one.
Remember how they did her at Essence Festival, though? Man.
What happened there?
You were there. Come on.
I don't remember this.
They put Solange on the first day, first artist.
Right.
No one was even in there that day. It's just like how they did Brandy. In the Essence Festival, no one's showing up at 7 p.m., man. And Solange was on there rocking out, and it was like no one was there.
Yep.
So sad.
Yeah.
Sad times.
Man. Well, shout outs to Solange. You did well. Hope she goes on tour soon, too, to capitalize on that album.
Do you think she will?
I think so. She should.
She should, yeah.
She should. I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't.
Remember her first album?
Yeah.
It was good.
Was it?
It was solid.
That was too B2K sounding for me.
But that was the sound of the times, man. Remember, she had songs like Crush.
Yep.
Neptunes.
You missed that time, Tom?
What was that, 2004, 2005?
2003.
Damn. That was a good time for music.
Neptunes on everything. Neptunes on every single album.
Yep, people still purchased the R&B. Yeah, it was a good time. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. We're living in the present now.
We should wrap it up.
Yeah, it's been a lot of just ranting going on for the last hour or so. I don't even know how long this podcast has been. It's
been 53 minutes, so we have just enough time for food conversation.
Excellent. It's Halloween, Tom. But I think we've done a Halloween discussion before.
No. Have we?
I want to say we have, because it sounds very, very familiar.
All right, I got one for you. I got one. Right. I don't think we've done this. Wait, have you ever done trick-or-treating? Do they do it in Canada?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They do?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was there ever a time when you show up to a house and they put something in their trick-or-treat basket and it was, like, just garbage?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
I'm just curious, what was it?
All right, so let me break it down to you, right? So you go trick-or-treating, you carry your little bag around, and, you know, most cases you get those Kit Kats, you know, M&Ms, like the average stuff, right? On the rare occasion, you'll get the bigger chocolate bars. Shout outs to the people who gave out those.
Oh, that's amazing. The full-size bars?
Full-size bars, man.
Man.
Yeah. And then you get people who would hand out, like, Dunkaroos and stuff like that.
Oh, Dunkaroos.
Man, it was a good time. Some people also gave out, like, juice boxes and stuff like that. But
Juicy juice?
Yep. Yep. But the one that always disappointed me, and I think Ed actually posted this on his Facebook. You remember that Halloween candy where the wrapper is just orange? And no one seems to know what it is?
Yeah.
That was it for me. It was that orange thing. It was like an orange, or it was a black wrapper. It was one of the two, but when I saw it, I didn't even bother to eat it. I was just throwing it away.
Wow. Can I give my experience?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the best was when they gave you cash, like a dollar bill. Oh, man.
They gave out dollars?
Yes. But then you had people who gave out pennies. And to me, pennies is like, it's not even worth anything. That's like garbage to me.
No. Absolutely.
And the U.S. actually considered, like, eliminating pennies because they said no one wants them. So that's, to me, it's like putting garbage in your bag. So then, when you're a kid, you don't want to get hard candy, like a peppermint or something. Like, people put that in.
No, you don't. You definitely don't want that. Yeah.
And then when people put healthy stuff, like an apple, like apple slices, I mean, come on, man. You want candy.
Yeah, that's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these days, you don't know. It's almost risky to even go out these days. With what's going on in this world, you never know what people could like contaminate this stuff. You don't know. So
Tom, let me hold on, Tom. Let me ask you this: even if it was contaminated, and it may have been, if someone handed you Starburst and it was the pink one, are you eating it?
Ooh, that's a tough.
Pink Starbursts are really good. Come on.
That's the best ones, man.
That's pink Starburst, man.
You have to risk it.
you gotta risk it.
Especially if it's the Skittles. Especially if it's the Skittles, the purple package. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's worth the trip to the hospital.
No, it's not. Come on. There's another candy. I don't know what it's called in the States. We call them Rockets. I think they're called Smarties over there.
Oh, yeah.
Candy rolls.
Oh, that's gross, man. Oh.
Like eating drugs.
Oh, that's gross.
Like drugs.
Ugh.
What about candy corn? That seems like something you guys love.
The thing about candy corn is it tastes good. If you have too much, it just gets disgusting. That's my opinion on that. You want to...
Yeah, I just never liked it, so...
You just want to throw up in a garbage can at that point.
Yep. Oh, man. Yikes.
So, that about wraps it up.
That's R&B in a nutshell for you. A lot of disappointment in terms of sales. Not a lot of press aside from Sevyn Streeter. And some R&B music that's good, but that no one notices, like the After 7 album.
Yeah.
Can we just end it on a good note, though?
Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought this up. Tom, people like Pretty Ricky and Chingy, true or false, are more R&B than Jeremiah and Tory Lanez.
Oh, man. It's true.
Man.
It's true.
Man.
You want to get even worse?
Hey, what's up?
Chingy has had bigger hits than After 7.
Wow.
Look it up. With R&B artists. I mean, I'm just
Chingy.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, Pulling Me Back is like one of the top 5 songs in the last 50 years. So, and I'm not hearing any disagreements on that from you, because you know it's true.
It's a good song. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. Shout out to SWV.
Tyrese.
Oh yeah. Somewhere Tyrese is celebrating right now.
So after this podcast, I'm going to tweet it out. Shout outs to Tyrese for killing the hook on that Chiggy song. And Tyrese might not tweet for the past 10 days, but once he sees our tweet, he'll retweet it.
You know what's interesting? I read on Wikipedia. That was his second top 10 hit.
Tyrese or Chingy?
Tyrese.
Yeah.
What was his first before that?
I want to say How You Gonna Act Like That.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, really? It was.
Oh, wow. So his first album had no top 10 hits?
No, I think Sweet Lady peaked at like number 14 or something. Number 12.
Oh,
Lately was 56.
You are right.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, you knew that off the top of your head? That's crazy.
Come on. They call me the human Wikipedia.
Someone told me once to check my Wikipedia facts, but that's another story for another time.
Yep. All right, guys. I really don't know how we're going to edit this one because this was sort of all over the place, but it's all good because we finally got through a podcast. We had a lot to talk about. Our next podcast, we'll try to get Ed back on this to create some structure to this podcast. Tom, it's almost time for another R&B draft.
But first of all, shout out to Miss Superwife. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be doing these podcasts at all. We would have quit like a year ago.
Yep. Wait, can we give a shout out to one of our other supporters? He's tweeted us a lot over the course of the last couple of years. I forget his name though. You gave him a shout out recently, or you thanked him for supporting us.
Oh man.
You remember?
There's a few. Jason Renfro?
No. Yeah, Sam.
Sam, damn, you should have told me to make a list. There's a bunch of people I'd like to shout out right now.
And you can't forget about our Facebook page.
Cinematic is another one. He's another one. Who are you going to mention?
Yep. What's his name? Philip W. I can't even pronounce his name, but he seems to be a big fan of. Yeah, is that him?
Yeah.
Is that your boy?
No, I just know he's a fan. I mean, a supporter of us.
Bell 90. Man, we have a lot of fans, man.
Supporters, man. This is our family, man. Come on.
Michelle Wallace, obviously.
This is our family. Well, next podcast, I'm going to make a list. We're going to shout out every supporter we have that has been with us since day one.
Man, I haven't even been there since day one, but all right.
You weren't even here. You've been threatening to quit the site since you joined back in 2011, I think.
Slam, Tom, please don't judge me for the way I was back in 09.
Come on. Inside joke.
All right. Well, oh, man, you know what? I forgot to mention Playa, one of our favorite groups, our boy Smokey and Black. They reunited as Playa, and they performed with Jagged Edge.
How did this
out there in Memphis.
How did this happen?
Tom, we're going to talk about this next week. This podcast is going way too long. So what I'm going to say is thank you guys for the support. We'll check back in very soon because I can't even classify this as a podcast. This is just a rant.
This is a podcast. This is a
all right. All right, Tom, you're going to settle down over there. So this is Kyle. We've got Tom. We're going to sign out, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.
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 We'll talk with you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.